This how dads talk. This how dads walk. This the dad pod. The dad pod.
Recording
The
in
dad pod.
progress. At least it reminds me. You ever get one of those Japanese model things where you says the Bluetooth is connected?
Nah.
Nah, I wish I still had mine. It's mad funny. You get them from like Ross. Anyway, yeah, I'm cheap. This dad pod for certain things. Anyway, this dad pod. Honestly, one of the ones I sent you. I don't know if you've seen it. When I said The Sixth Sense, the movie. You remember the
Yeah,
movie?
yeah, I remember that
When's
movie.
the last time you've seen a movie?
I mean, it's been a couple years.
It had. I don't think I've seen it since I had been a father. That's how long, right? Straight up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was a different movie as a father. I was choked up, and I be saying in plenty of podcasts. We said I get emotional. I don't care. I'll cry and
Yeah,
all
100%.
kind of things. But the little boy run up and he like shaking. It's after like he runs up and he's shaking, crying, want to sleep with his mom, and she's like, "What's wrong? Why are you shaking? What's wrong? Tell me what's wrong." Like, and I'm like that feeling of no control. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Of their life. That I haven't went through that. That to
like you just can't help.
yeah, like wow, that hit a whole different, and I mean, especially that's a whole drastic point. This guy can see freaking
Yeah,
ghosts. So you can see
yeah,
dead people. So that's a whole that's a whole different point. So that'd be even crazier. But you know that thought in life, you know, we're raising them to the best of our abilities and the best of what we know how to do. But there is different things now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That they
hundred
go through
percent. I
that we
mean,
don't go through. The internet, for one, everybody knows your problems.
100%. It's like I heard something. It's like you can't raise your kids the way you were raised because the world that isn't the world anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's not the world we live in anymore. Yeah, straight up. Yeah,
Because it's like it's definitely easy. Like, and especially me early on, like I found myself like just doing things because like that's what people told me that like they had done, or like this is what my parents said like to do.
hmm
And it was like it took me a while to figure out like no, like I got to figure out my own way.
Yeah, your own style. Absolutely. I was trying to think of it.
Yeah,
I was trying to think of what else was in the movie that was having me tripping. Like, just, just
but
like,
that movie's crazy. Well, then you got like the dad who's with that chick, and like his daughter's sick, and she's wearing
yeah.
the red
Oh,
dress.
yeah. That was heartbreaking too. The movie's been
Yeah,
out, so we gonna give spoilers. That's y'all should have seen this thing by now.
yeah. Like I'm not
But
even that doesn't even warrant a
But
spoiler.
oh my gosh, dude, that yeah, there was so much about it. And like I said, I hadn't seen it until I was a father, and it was just mind blowing, you know. And even like that, like in that scenario where it's called something, there's a word for it, right? Where mothers will make their children sick to play the hero or to take them to school. I mean, to
Like
school.
Munchausen.
That's what it is. That you know that's a real thing, you know. And yeah, I don't know. The movie is amazing, but it was just rewatching it, and I was like, I gotta talk about it again because you know I don't know. Again, I haven't went through anything severe, but you know, I've had went through it with both a little bit where I had to kind of give my example or my real life, like, well, I did this or I did that, and it was okay, or you know what I mean, or man, that was really stupid ass thing I did, you know.
Right.
But like to I don't know. I even think like, you know, I mean, we're grown. We're moved up out our, you know, like fuck, man. Mine's already, you know, junior year. Like,
I
that's
know that's crazy.
a little scary. Like, you know, that kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like, you
that's
know,
terrifying.
are we ever gonna think they're ready? You know what I mean?
No, I
You
mean
know,
never.
you know. I would say I remember we had already got our own apartment. We had a house that failed miserably, and then I moved out to Texas, and then I went anyway. I was on my way to LA to get my own apartment, and my mom followed me there. And I'll never forget. She started crying. She's like, "I just feel like I'm dropping you off to the real world." It was like I've already lived everywhere. She was like, "Yeah, but that was with people you knew. You're all by yourself."
Yeah,
And I was like, I was 19, 20 years old. So it's like that thought, you know, like, are we ever gonna think they're ready? You know,
yeah.
you just
I
gotta.
try to think. It's like it's tough. Like it's my or like it's hard to think about my kids at 18. It's like 18 seems
It's
like
a,
it's going to be different.
I don't know. I was thinking with mine, like, man, oh, the youngest one especially. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be a mess.
Oh, I can't even imagine the world that young one's gonna be
Look, he hear me talking. He can't hear it.
in.
He just start walking through. And he's small enough. He's right in the blur. Damn, that's like almost its own story in itself, huh? In the blur.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Here, I'll pick you up. You want to say hi? Say hello.
What's up, buddy?
Say hi, buddy. He said we talking about. I hear you talking shit about us little kids. See, and that's the perfect one. I didn't even do that on purpose. That's just me. My next topic was growing up talking shit, right? And the reason I wanted to go on this one was we were me and somebody were saying the level of jokes, obviously, in regular comedy, you can't even say stuff anymore, right? People are so offended and the woke crowd and the cancel culture, right? But
Right.
we used to say some shit.
Yeah.
Some really disrespectful shit, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, our parents told us the same thing. Oh, we're soft compared to their generation. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know if we can be considered soft compared to our parents' generation.
Mhm. Well, I just feel like
It's like,
I was told that. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way no more. But
yeah, 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 100%. Like, oh, my dad didn't do this, or like, I never got that. I'm like, yeah,
that's what they
100%.
say. Yeah, that's what they say. But yeah, as far as that shit talking though,
Yeah. It used to
you
be like an art form.
that's what I'm feel- man. Yeah, that they've had so many shows since the YouTube and social media era, and this is why I'm like, we gotta hop on, bro. We gotta get something. We're plenty funny. We can do the same kind of shit. But these dudes, we'll get like six or seven of them at a table, so we would all have to be in a room. But they basically, it was even called classroom. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong, but it was just a bunch of dudes that sat there and talked shit about each other. It was straight up old school, high school shit talking, like just like oh fucking shirt unbuttoned ass. It was just. I'm like that, and they're getting millions of views because people are too fucking scared to say that simple ass shit like we grew up on. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah, man.
amazing. It was amazing. I was like, amazing. That shit talking.
And it's like a way you grow up. It's like I work in the office. I can't be acting
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, there's a time and place for it, and that's even one thing, right? With I guess that's another subject to kind of slide into with cussing and that kind of shit talking. I've had those conversations with my son where, I'm I know how I know how we talk, right? I know how men get to going on each other. We give each other hard shit to just to press each other to be better, right? Or
right.
whatever, right? Now, I call you a bitch all day, but I'm not gonna let him call you a bitch in front of me, right? That's how it's supposed to work.
Right.
But I better not let me find out you just saying bitch ass, fuck ass, motherfucker when there's all these damn adults around. I better not find that out.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, now that's a
Listen, time and
yes.
place.
Yeah, that's a different ball. We out there playing football, cool. We have practice. You know what I mean? You're out
Yeah.
there on the playground, you playing, yeah.
Listen, I'm not around. Listen, like drop as many. Like you got to practice. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you got to find your way, but like don't let your way be doing it in front of people like acting crazy.
I remember I was
Like
like 16 or 17 and a parent I did that. I don't know why in my head I thought it would be cool to act like I was an adult, you know what I mean, cuss and shit. And she turned and
yeah,
looked dead at me and said, I ain't one of your friends. You better watch your mouth around me and I'm an adult. And I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got it.
And we need more of that too. People checking people,
Yeah,
checking these
hundred
kids.
percent. They need it.
Yep, straight up.
Like
Badass.
I'm pretty laissez faire when it comes to like them doing stuff. Like I don't really got a lot of rules. Like it's like, but there are like certain things. Like listen, pick up after yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm only gonna tell you so many times, and then now, like, well, now I'm gonna start talking shit, or like now I'm making you feel bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
See, that's a little bit of old school coming in.
yeah. But it's like, listen, I done told you how many times.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
at this point, are you being disrespectful? You have already been disrespectful to me.
That's what
Now
that's what I feel like.
I could either take it away and like get mad and just like, oh, do this, or like I could have like a little fun with it. Like, listen, you're gonna show me a little disrespect. All right, I'm gonna give a little back.
I like that style.
Yeah,
To each their own. I like it.
yeah. And it's like in a little gentle way, but like it gets to like me and my kids, like they love to talk shit about me. It's like,
Mhm,
oh,
yeah.
you looking pretty fat, gained a lot of weight this year, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should
My
all
son,
three of us should all three of us get in
yeah.
the elevator?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son gives it to me sometimes pretty good. He's got me good. Yeah. What the fuck? It was like a weird brand of something we bought. Well, I'm just gonna make up what it was, but he was just like, "Hey, Dad," and he showed me. And he was like, "You beach," like, like he didn't say it, but he was like, "You beach," like you know what I mean,
Yeah.
like, but shit like that. We've had a couple funny ones. I like okay, because he's 12 now. He getting older,
Yeah.
and say like that line of, we're fucking around. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when it does come, obviously, that's what I was gonna go with earlier, where my son's fairly good with certain things. I definitely let him get away with more than I should. But I had to get on him one time about something, and I was like, "Now listen, man, I've never had to hit you, but I'm being dead ass serious right here. If this shit ain't done when I get back from work, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and I mean that. You're gonna go get those gloves. We're gonna go out back, and I'm gonna smack you up, or I'm gonna get your Xbox, and I'm gonna slam it until it's in a bunch of pieces. It's up
Yeah.
to you. Up to you,
Yeah.
man."
100%.
He messaged me at work at like within an hour. It's done. I knew it would be,
100%.
son. I knew it would be. But it's like, there we go
Listen.
to old school. My dad used to, because I was that too, hard-headed, ignorant, whatever you want to call it. And shoot, he had to check me hard too. Like, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Yeah. It's like every now and then. And listen, I try not to get crazy. Like, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm just going to tell you, listen, this is what's going to happen. You're either going to do what I said, or I'm going to take this thing that you like and I'm going to destroy it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll continue to do that until you
Get the
until
picture.
you've done what is it.
And I said
Like,
I said in one of these
it's
before
just
too.
stuff to me.
Then
It's just stuff to me.
I'll buy it again. But
Yeah, yeah.
point
Listen,
made. Point made.
that's future me problem.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the here and now. I got a point needs to be made.
That's mad funny. That's the future me, real shit. The right now me is telling this is what's gonna happen.
Now listen.
You ever see the damn there was a video on whatever, it don't matter what it's on, but there was a video and the dad buys a nice little one of them electric cars for his
Yeah.
son, and his son goes up and like kicks it, didn't like the color or some shit. He's like 5 or something. So the dad picks up the car, goes up the second story and throws it up on the fucking balcony and it breaks to pieces. I'm like, facts.
Bravo. Bravo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Disrespectful ass little, yeah.
Yeah. But I've even like there are even like instances like I remember when my son was like, yeah, he's like maybe like 4, 3, 4, 5. We were at the store and I was sitting there, I was checking out, and I get all my stuff and I'm walking out. And I see something in his hand. I'm like, hey, like, I don't think we paid for that. He said, oh no, we didn't. I said, well, okay, we need to take that back. Because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
whether you meant to or not, taking it right now is stealing. Like we can't be doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like we like went back and like took it back.
Gotta teach him. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. And it's like sometimes just like those small checks. I found like when like everything has its time and its place. But
Absolutely.
like I try to just be like, all right, we're all here to like figure shit out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
for sure.
and I'm like, there are some things that like, listen, you're just not allowed to figure that out.
Yeah.
Like you either should have known and that's on you or me or something. You fucked up.
I know what you mean. There's some like, I mean, I can't honestly think of one just off the top of the head, but I know I ran into him before where it's kind of like, how did I learn this or how did I figure this out? And like you said, you almost should just know. Eventually, you just start hearing. But I guess those are, because this is another one. I had this conversation today about like us growing up. Okay, our parents would say, maybe come to me about anything. You can talk to me about anything. And it's like lies. When we tried that, it did not work. They did not really mean it. So we learned to keep things in. And it's like, okay, I want the same with my kids. I understand they'll tell secrets, but I guess learning to like on some of the other episodes we did, communicate well enough to where they're comfortable enough to tell you something serious. You know what I mean? Like my dad used to always say, like, you can commit murder, son. You just tell me you did it. You know what I mean? Don't lie to me. So building that kind of trust to, I guess, open
Yeah.
up.
I think part of it is like learning like when to be quiet too, like giving them like the space to be like, all right, like sometimes letting them come to you instead of like trying to be the one going to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
get the information. Like just being there with them, just doing stuff. Like
I,
obviously, like you see an opening, you gotta take it. Like I get that, but just casting a wide net and just like being patient. Like it doesn't always pay off sometimes, but like every now and then they come with like, oh, it turns out like this is my new favorite thing. And it's like, oh, like I didn't know that.
you
Or
know
like,
what you made me think of? It was on one of the other ones we did, and then it got cut off. Okay. And I was talking about, I was saying something with, we're kind of talking about like this, communicating and learning, like that, them learning on their own. Well, it was about like being physical or fighting and standing up for yourself. You know what I mean? But it was like about, when is it okay to use violence, I guess, right? Honestly.
right,
I didn't really get in fights growing up like that, but I was always definitely taught, there's times, and especially, me being how I am and my son picked up how I am, I'm very helpful to my friends. You're not going to bully my friends, just like you guys were. I always say you and John and Jamie were always very much so. Somebody was bullying and trying to pick on me. You're like, well, let's go then, because they're not. You know what I mean? Like stuck up. So anyway, and so there was this moment in class, and I guess this kid throws something at my son's friend, and my son's friend isn't really one of those fighters, right? One of
right,
those kind of guys. So my son's like, hey, don't be doing that, blah, blah, blah. This other kid goes up and smack my son's friend, and my son's like, it was on. Had to fight him. And so they kind of get in a little kid wrestling kind of match again or whatever, you know what I mean?
right,
It was nothing major. But anyway, he's telling me that, and he was just, I was so mad. He kind of ran away from the class, and I was ready. I was following him and da da da. So I'm breaking it down now because see, now my mind's going further. As once you get as an adult, you don't follow nobody nowhere, right?
no,
They're going back to get a gun. Period.
no,
Right? They're going back to get their homies that are up the street. You don't follow, and then further, right? Law wise, they're running away. You have no need to follow them anymore. Danger is over.
yeah,
And so I
yeah,
was trying to teach them like, I love that you stood up for your friend. I'm glad you did, right? He wouldn't have did it for himself. This guy was being a bully on purpose, you know. But like that, in a sense like that, it was over. It no longer needs to go anywhere. You see him again, it's done. He's already ran
right,
away. He showed you he doesn't want to do it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Done.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
but
Sometimes, like especially at that age, I feel like a little bit of violence is
mm,
like it's not necessarily the worst thing. It's like
definitely not. No,
I'm
12, 13, 14. Yeah.
like obviously I don't believe in a world where like violence is the answer. It's like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
like I'm not talking like Mad Max in the scenario,
Yeah. Yeah.
but like a little like I feel like boys need to like express themselves, and that but like that's part of it. It's like all right, it's like words have broken down at this point, and like yeah, that's a failure on their part. They should learn how to communicate, but like that broke down, and this
and
is
that's
what they have.
and that's how you learn, though, right? Don't say
Right,
some stupid shit. You gonna get smacked.
and it's
It's
like
it
you're gonna
happened.
learn. And listen, like I got lucky sometimes. Like there were some times like I thought I was joking and like people got mad at me. Like I remember one time, like I was cussing at a dude. He said, "Don't cuss at me." I said, "Well, who the fuck you think you are?" And he like grabbed my head and he like had my head in the urinal. And I'm like, and I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, this dude's like, he's like, oh, he's like fucking around. And I just kept laughing. And like he looked at me like, fuck. And like it wasn't until later I looked back, I was like, oh shit, I think he was serious.
Yeah.
So like,
The fuck?
listen, listen. Sometimes nonviolence works. Like obviously being
Damn.
clueless to the
So
situation
this is a good one, right?
didn't.
I love this. But basically, the quote was just, a man doesn't know peace until he knows violence, until he knows that side. Because to like, even like as we say with us, and even us can be at war with yourself, right? So it's hard to know peace until you have at some point experienced that violence. And I was like, I just generally
Right.
like that thought of it, because like with this, going back to like the kids or whatever, and that kind of concept, there was another time where my son was gonna fight this kid, and I'm telling him, hey, um, I'm telling this kid, I'm telling him, well, see what this kid problem is first. Like, why is it? How come he always got an issue every time he sees you? You just walk up and ask him that. Like, what's going on, man? And so this kid breaks it down like his mom like be hitting him and stuff at home when she drunk, right? I was in shock that this little kid told my son this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
But those little things still do work with kids, still do work because think about it, right? We always say as an adult, does anybody ask you shit like that? Are you okay? What's going on at home? Because nobody
Nah.
asked you as a kid really either. You know what I mean? You might have had the normal teacher that you didn't fucking believe was asking you that shit for real anyway. You know what I mean? Like, ah, shut up. That's your job. You always ask that same old shit. You know what I mean? Like, so there's stuff like that, I think, but I don't feel like so anyway, I just thought it was interesting. But like that
Man, that's wild.
again, the peace and the chaos, the peace and the violence kind of go hand in hand, like in the sense of a warrior. Sometimes you do have to go to war to keep the peace. I know
Yeah, absolutely.
not everybody believes in that.
And like, even if you wanted to say, listen, it's the 21st century, like, you want to like translate violence to like, what about conflict? Like, what about just being able to stand up for yourself? What about just being able to like negotiate and like get what you deserve is yours instead of
Negotiate is a great one.
just taking what somebody is offering, like actually advocating for yourself. Like, no, you don't need to be violent, but you need to
Yeah,
be a
yes,
fierce
yes.
advocate for yourself. So like it still works. Like,
That's a
so
solid one.
anybody who wants to like, oh, violence, like,
Yeah,
okay, you're
yeah.
being short-sighted, like, and not just trying to take it for what it is.
That's in a sense of like where like a leader, right? Some leaders lead from the front, some leaders lead from the back, right? Like you're saying. So these people that are violent, like in that sense, those are those kind of people that are from the back, like go do what I said, or a ruler that rules on fear opposed to respect. I
Right.
agree. That's what I'm trying to teach, that respect. And like you said, definitely, I love how you brought up. There's moments like negotiation is a big one, trying to get that raise that you deserve, whatever it may be. But those little points where, like you said, you do have to be assertive and stand your ground sometimes, but you do not need to be violent. I've told people that so many times. It's like I don't I since I've been an adult, I've never threatened another man with violence. Not one time. Not one time.
No, never.
Right?
I mean, actually, I mean, there were some like, younger like army times.
There could
Like, but
but
I
yeah,
never
you get what
like
I'm
got
saying.
into a fight. Like, but
Yeah, me either.
I haven't been into a fight since I was eighth grade.
Yeah, see, that's the yeah. But anyway, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like that kind of concept where I'm still with me not have being physical or being violent, there's not many people that I've had confrontations with that wouldn't tell you I wasn't direct or, I stood my ground or whatever. You know what I mean? I didn't have to threaten nothing. I'm letting you know this is how I feel. This is what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? Done.
Right. And listen, it's something I struggle with. Like, I used to be much better. Like, I don't know, something happened to where like my confidence got shook. I try not to like pass that on to the kids. Like, I remember this one time I was in line with my son to like get beach passes. And like there was this guy standing next to us. And I was talking about when I was in the army, like you had to like climb up this tower and you got to rappel down. And he was like, were you scared? Like, yeah. And he was like, did you say anything? Like, no. Listen,
Like,
sometimes you just got to swallow that shit and do what you got to do.
no.
And the guy next to me was like, yeah. I was like, listen, that's just what it is sometimes.
Yeah, that's
Like
such a strategy.
there's a place for feelings. And like, but that's the thing. You can feel how you feel. But like feeling is feeling. You still gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, 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 yeah. See, that's a great topic. Exactly with this being the dad pod or the men talk that I talk about often, often where, like you said, sometimes you just, you got to do what you got to do, and not to say it's same with mothers as well, you go through all these
But that's
feelings, emotions, and
right. that's what I like try to pass on to the kids. It's like, listen, like you gotta do what you gotta do. It's like that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
like allowance and shit like that. Like I go back and forth. Like, should I pay an allowance? Or like, should I like here's the fact. Operating a household, this is what you gotta do. Like
yeah, yeah,
nobody cares. Nobody comes in and grades this.
yeah, yeah.
No, like
Except for you, in
nobody
a
like
sense.
this is you and your standard. Like, what standard do you want to keep? And it's like, all right. And like it makes me like have to reflect in myself. Like, all right, what standard are you keeping? What example are
Absolutely.
you setting?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm like, all
Exactly.
right. Like sometimes like I don't always like what I see in the mirror.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's like, okay, but it's like, all right, let's like be honest about it. And like if I can be honest, they can be honest.
Hopefully.
Like that's like the big hope.
Mine have moments.
Right.
They're kids. They're kids. They're kids. I know.
It's like my kids, they don't tell me shit really.
No.
No, they don't tell me nothing that's going on. They got their teachers today. They're talking about it amongst themselves. They're not really like including me. Like I can ask,
Well, yeah. So
but
I was gonna say you just said that a minute ago. You kind of wait for them to go to you. So maybe now just start pressing. You know,
right. It's like,
I've done it with both of mine. Both of mine give me short, little stupid answers sometimes, and I'm like, and you know, what'd you do today? Oh, we just like my son with football practice. It's tackle. Like, so what'd you do today? We did offense and defense. Well, fucking duh.
yeah.
What did you
So
do?
you played the
Yeah,
game of football?
stupid. Like that shit was so annoying. But like
No.
he's trying to move on from the question. Like, no, what did you do? Okay, well break it down. You know, continue. What did you
Yeah.
do? You know, so yeah, maybe
I'm
try that. Try to
actually
yeah.
asking.
Yeah, pressure.
The way you talk about shit I don't care about, talk about
Yeah,
this like that right now.
never. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I've had to do that. Have you? We might have talked about this before. Maybe not a podcast, but where like I try to show excitement for everything my son does. But he was like 8 or between 8 and 10. But he's showing me and telling me, and he's so excited for something, and he had already. It's like, well, I'll give it to an example. Like, let's just say when your kid jumps and does a circle and spins around, like after 1,000 times, like it's not even impressive anymore. And I don't really want to pretend. It's just
Yeah.
so like he did something like that. He's like 8 or 10, and he's like waiting for me to be excited. And I'm like, Michael, it's not that I wasn't excited at once, but I'm not 8, you know, so I'm not going to be as excited as you are, right?
Yeah.
And then so it's again like I'm not trying to like how do you approach something like that,
Yeah.
right? Like we're not the same age, like but I'm not gonna lie and say I still don't have moments sometimes where he's go like you said he's go
Say,
like
listen,
on and on all
I'm
the details.
I'm glad that you're excited. I just really don't give that much of a fuck. It's the honest truth.
Yeah, but I try not to say that.
I mean, every now and then, like I'll be honest, like
For sure,
listen, I don't care anymore.
for
Like
sure.
I don't care.
I definitely do
Like
that.
enough. Like I get it. Let's talk about something else.
I'm like, okay, 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 okay.
Yeah, yeah. Move on.
And see, and I'm
That's
like,
like, listen, like I taught you to read. That's like this all over again. Except like you think it's a conversation. You're fucking stuttering. Ah. The same shit you're doing all over again. All right.
I be
Move the
telling my
fuck on.
son that, yeah. I said the same thing to him, like, all right, look. And he'll even stop sometimes. I don't know what I was saying. I'm like, okay, come back to me when you got what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
And see, like that, okay. Here's another perfect example of a mom dad thing. All the mothers right here, right now, are probably like, these motherfuckers are assholes to their kids and right. But this is one of those where I'm subtly teaching him to get to the point without saying get to the point, right? I'm teaching him that details matter, right?
I
But not
mean, listen,
all of them. You know what I mean?
listen. Yeah, yeah. This is how you talk to a person. Eventually, if you don't get to the fucking point, people move the fuck on.
They do.
This is
Faster
what
than
they do.
before.
Listen, I'm a person too. I may be a parent, but I'm also a person. You gotta remember that. I ain't listen. Sometimes that person shit kicks in. I ain't got time for this. Let's fucking go.
That is a fucking t-shirt. I'm a parent, but I'm a person too.
Oh,
That's a t-shirt, bro. Excuse me. When we get this properly set up, 1999 on samlong.com. Trademark. Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, but I'm a person too.
Yeah.
Especially as they get older. Especially as they get older, you say, see, this is like an example too. Again, like with boys, at least my son, he's 12. I've been messing with him since we were little, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big kid. We talk about it now. I'm a grown adult kid. Still sometimes I'll be in the store like fucking with my son, like, what's up? Like, come on. But we did that since he was a little kid, right? I about to smacked him a couple times too harder in the stomach. Like, it's like open chest. But I did it in his gut all the time, all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. In the sides, it don't matter wherever it's open, I get him. And so man, every time he walked by me, he's ready. He's ready to start, right? So it's like that. At first, it was like, okay, it hurt, or he was getting bothered. Now it's a game. Now he's waiting to catch me, or when he gets me, like he got me just today. That's what made me think of it. Just before he left, but now he's doing it like football. We're not doing boxing no more. Now he's doing like he's gonna tackle me, right? So it's like I'm standing there and he come up and I'm like, oh, I seen him and I like duck like I had the ball. He hit me. I'm like, see, shit, you didn't even hit me, and I felt that in my ribs. But like that,
Yeah.
it makes it a game, right? And it's like, but we're toughening each other up, or I'm toughening him up. You know what I mean? Making
Yeah.
it so
Yeah.
it's not all this little physical reaction. Even sometimes, yeah, fuck, you were caught off guard and bam, that shit hurt, but it didn't hurt that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I wrestle with my son and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I feel like he don't have a brother.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Well, mine does now, but
I grew up like in a house like full of brothers.
no shit.
Like we beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, no
Like
shit.
that's what we did.
As big or bigger than you for sure.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I remember
Yeah,
pillow fights. We would like you wind up the pillow until it's like a rock
yeah.
at the end, and then you just swing
Yep.
it and like beat the shit out of each other like that.
Yep.
We would like lay pillows down, just like slam each other on the pillows.
You
Like,
know, this brings me up to a perfect, like, I guess what ending discussion or topic. But like as you're talking, right, we went and watched Russ a concert out of town in Vegas, and he was saying, just he was talking about a song that was 10 years old, and just about basically 10 years ago saying, I can't wait for blah blah blah. And he was like, now here I am 10 years later, and I'm like, those are the good times, right? We're living in the good times. We're always like, oh yeah, like even me, like, oh, when I get this job and when I get this house and when I get this car, when I get this paycheck, or it's always when I, and then it's missing all the moments where, because like even like you said, some of those simple things, those were good moments in life.
yeah, 100%. It's like I used to like I remember I used to like collect those moments. It's like I lived life like always trying to like get like a piece of them. And it's like, it happens like less and less. Like as you get older, you don't realize. And it's like as I see my kids, it's like I want them to like have those experiences, to like experience like life.
Hmm.
Like sometimes like it's not great. It isn't. But like
But it's an
that's like
experience.
part of the good that's part of what makes it so good.
I had said this on one before about, but like you said, like that experience in life. And there was this one time, I'll be real quick. We only got so much time, but I was stressing about like not being able to afford Christmas gifts, and so I'm telling my mom this whole get down, and she's like, let me ask you something. I'm like, yeah. She said, name five of your favorite Christmas toys I ever bought you. Go. And I'm like, I always say I named three. I remember moon boots. She got me this like
Mhm.
rubber band boots you could jump on. They were dope.
Mhm.
Stretch Armstrong was dope. And then I'm like, PlayStation. And right, look how long it took me. She's like, now name five places we went as a family. Cake took me 10 seconds. Right, that memory as an adult meant way more than them fucking toys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Those memories, like I said, even if it wasn't good, I can name five bad ones too, but at least I remembered it.
Yeah.
I couldn't even name five bad toys. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is.
100%. And it's like none of that stuff like matters. Like I've been like in that point where I was like stressing. I was like, I don't know what to do for like what I'm gonna do for a tree. Like
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
get a tree. And then I'm just like, listen, they still had all this whole year. Why all this lead up to this one day?
That's a parent. That's what you got to do. I'm thankful for my wife. Is very creative, but like it's something like that. Where We can fucking make it. We didn't make one. Like we make a toilet paper roll tree and paint it green, or make some kind of craft and we all paint them and hang it up. That's our tree. Or I feel like that we had a
Yeah,
year we didn't have a tree or something, and we did something. But I mean stuff like that. It's like you said earlier, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
yeah, 100%. I ain't got one of those
Uh,
fucking crafting bones in my goddamn body.
yeah. Hey, but see, that's the thing. Nowadays we got TikTok, Pinterest,
I
YouTube,
got an F
Facebook.
in art.
I I think I failed the first semester of art, and I'm still proud to this day. I wish I could find it. I made a really good looking pear. It really looked like a pear, and that's the best thing I've ever drawn.
I don't remember. Like I remember, like we had to like do this thing on layered paper. He said F, lack of effort, and I said, "Fuck this class."
Yeah, see, ain't that some bullshit with art? Like art class, talking about lack of effort. How you gonna tell me how? But you know how hard that shit was for me to do that fucking
I
line
was
right there.
like, "I'm so bad at this." I was like, "I can't help that
Yeah,
I'm this bad."
I try to tell people this shit all the time with this. We're talking about art. Like I love tattoos. I'm already like I gotta get more. Every time I get one, I need another one. And so we come back. I get this little Vegas has these little $10 tattoos. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, they're dope. Yeah, you can go up to like 50. They're cheap, quick, a little just basic. So I got like a smiley face and some. I got a couple little shitty ones. Anyway, I'm sitting there like on the way home and I'm like, I think I'm gonna get a tattoo then. And my wife's like, for what? I'm like, so I can start tattooing. Like, I can do stuff like that. And she was like, but you can't draw.
they're gonna be abstract.
Thank you for telling me that. I would have had some most fucked up shit on my arm you ever seen. Come
Yeah,
down and said,
no,
"Did
no.
your son get a hold of it?" Like,
It's like in the style of Picasso.
oh no, no,
Nah,
I don't even know if I can get. Yeah, he has
I
better
can't.
lines, better line
I can't.
work,
Nah,
better
I
shading.
can't. Nah, I can't draw for shit. I can never be a
Uh,
tattoo artist.
anyway, but all right, this Sam, I appreciate you coming by the Dad Pod. Of course, this is always like we said before, it's almost our own therapy to ourselves. And so with that, being said, of course I hope it is to everybody out there that's watching, anybody that gets a hold of this to share it out. Let everybody know you at the Dad Pod and you have some of these same ideas. Or if you disagree with us, hit us in the comments. That's okay. We'll talk about it on the next episode. I'm not scared. Ain't nobody scared.
All
All right, this Sam. Till next time.
right, then.
All right, peace.